Hi everybody, and welcome to your moon number 6 full moon and new moon messages. I've compacted them together to give you all of the lessons from this moon cycle that is now closing off. So I'm talking about that Gemini new moon on May 22nd and the Sagittarius full moon on June 5th, which was also the start of our eclipse season. What is this entire moon cycle here to tell us? What is it here to teach us? Leave comments below. What have you learned throughout this moon cycle? And this moon cycle is closing out and ending as we approach the summer solstice and first new moon in Cancer. We're having 2 new moons in Cancer this year, which is very exciting. Lots of nurturing coming in, which I think we all need. So that's coming in on Saturday, June 20th. So these are the last few days of this cycle. Mercury retrograde started today, so I thought I'd give you all guidance for what has this cycle given you. Retrogrades are always time to evaluate, and Mercury retrograde is a perfect time to evaluate what we have learned and the ways that we have communicated and what it is that we have with our relationships to our own beliefs, to our own ideas, and to the beliefs and ideas of others and greater society. Okay? All right, so first of all, that Gemini new moon. So a new moon in Gemini is always a time to have new ideas, to blow our minds. And in the last month, or moon cycle, as I like to call it, because there's 13 moon cycles, but only 12 months. So in the last moon cycle, this 6th moon cycle of the year, there has been so much learning, so much unlearning, right? Not just in the terms of the Black Lives Matter movement and the justice movement, what we're learning about Aboriginal rights, and what we're learning is our power and our ability to serve and change and shift for ourselves, within ourselves, and for society. Not only has there been learning around that, that's obviously been the most massive, obvious learning, but there's also been this internal review going on for a lot of us in terms of our relationships with our siblings, our relationships with our own minds, how we learn, how we process, how we think about anything, and specifically how we think about love, how we express love to ourselves and to others. Because Gemini is also the sign that Venus is in right now, and Venus is also in retrograde. And we also had the North Node move into Gemini at the beginning of May. So there's a lot of Gemini action happening, and it is still Gemini season. We're approaching Cancer season in a few days as well. So what does all of this mean? So what I'm saying is there was a Gemini new moon, a time for new opportunities to think and learn differently about love, relationships, society, duality, non-duality, spirituality, science, all of it. Nothing is left out. And then a new way to think about love with the Venus retrograde, and then a new way to see our destiny in terms of how we as a collective can learn and think and communicate differently. So that was the beginning of this cycle on the 22nd of May. And holy moly, did we ever learn so much in the process about our systemic racism, about systemic injustice, about police brutality, about the unevenness and the injustice in the world. How many of you are uncomfortable or are overwhelmed with the level of processing that is going on? That is often what happens in Gemini energy, because there's so much information and such a vast broadness. You're seeing everything, right? Gemini energy is opposite from Sagittarius. It is all of the learning and all the communication that needs to happen so that we can see the whole truth and nothing but the truth, which is what Sagittarius is here to teach us. Okay, so there's this real sense of overwhelm. It's very common to get anxiety, to get overwhelmed, to get headaches, to get migraines. Lots of people have been telling me this past moon cycle that they've been suffering from lots of migraines, lots of fatigue, feeling mentally exhausted. And I'm here drinking my beautiful elixir that has Dandy Blend in it and has some good fats in it, some MCT oils. And I'm taking this in because I know that my mind needs support. It needs soothing in order to make all of these new neural connections, in order to even see, what am I learning? What am I unlearning? What is there for me to do and say? What is there for others to do and say? Where do I even need to go, right? For some people, it's even overwhelming to be on social media right now, right? And for others, it's very empowering. So there's this whole gamut of situations, and you might be feeling one way one day and differently another. And that's okay, because this is the opportunity for our minds to be blown. What I shared in Moon Mastery about the Gemini new moon when I held a ceremony on May 22nd was that Gemini is blowing our mind, good and bad and beyond. And everything in our lives is a relationship. It's all about you and the other person next to you in a relationship, in a marriage, you and your children, you and your employees and coworkers, you and people of color, LGBTQ people that you don't even understand, that you don't even know. It's all about our relationships to all of humanity and ourselves. So it's this deep reflection time, and this was predicted. So I'm just saying this to you to give you some soothing, to give you some affirmation that this is exactly what this time is for. It's the sacred mirror of the other. We're seeing ourselves and other people in ways that we have not maybe ever in this lifetime. There is so much Gemini energy, right? Remember, the sun is in Gemini, Venus is in Gemini, and it's in retrograde. The North Node is in Gemini, and we now have Mercury retrograde, which rules Gemini energy, and we also had that Gemini new moon. Okay? So that's the Gemini energy, and it's all about communication. And some of you might have even been seeing updates with like how you updates to your own thinking around your sibling relationships, around close relationships, and around what are your relationships to all people, to people of color, to all people on this planet. This is a very important review time. I realized I have friends and acquaintances who are of color, and I've wanted to have lots of people, and I've invited lots of people onto my podcast to have conversations with me, but it hasn't actually been a core priority of mine to diversify and have more inclusiveness in my own offering, in my own clients, right? And I feel like that's actually doing me and them a disservice, because we have so much to teach each other. And it's not about doing it, just as a token doing it. It's about, because I actually want to experience more culture, more different viewpoints. I want to expand my own mind and blow my own mind up and have more connection and have more real relationship with people from all walks of life, right? So even though I know that I'm not a racist, and I have friends and clients and other people that I take in their spiritual information and their content and their goodness who are of color, I wasn't actually making it a priority to further understand their perspective and to have their pain become my pain. And that's been one of my greatest learnings throughout this experience, and I'm so grateful for it. And this really offshoots into the Sagittarius full moon energy that happened on June 5th, which was also the start of eclipse season. There's a lunar eclipse that day, and that happened in the same week that all of the riots and all of the protesting started. And that Blackout Tuesday was the Tuesday before, and then the Friday was the eclipse. So this was the opportunity for humanity's evolution to really begin. Now, what do I mean by that? So there's all of this learning, all of this new information is coming in. We're starting to review all of our past relationships with that Gemini energy. And then here comes Sagittarius with a big whammy, with a lot of truth, with a lot more information that expands us even further. We thought we were already learning so much. No way. There was so much we didn't know, and that's okay. Remember to be gentle with yourself for not knowing what you don't know. You don't know what you don't know. And Sagittarius is here as the truth bringer, as the sage, to expand your awareness and to give you even more truth. So that week was when we actually got the opportunity, got the download, got to see that there actually was a role for us to play, that there was more that we could do individually, all of us individually, no matter what race we're from, no matter where we're from, that we can do right now to serve humanity, to serve the abolishment of racism, systemic injustice, and pain and cruelty in our systems, right? Because like I've been saying already, and like I'll say time and time again, this year, this new earth year, as I'm calling it, from the astrological new year, March 21st, when we had the Aries new moon, and then we had the Libra full moon, or the Virgo full moon, was the start of all of this, was the start of coronavirus and this massive change that we're seeing in humanity. And the real opportunity that we have at hand here, that the Sagittarius full moon revealed to us, illuminated to us as full moons do, and it was intense, was that we actually have a role to play in the abolishment of these systems that are not just, that are cruel, that are unbalanced, and that are systemically based in colonialism and slavery and injustice to indigenous peoples, people of color, and Black people in the world, and in North America specifically. So what is possible here? And this was so overwhelming. I know a lot of empaths, a lot of feelers it was difficult. It's difficult to see death. It's difficult to see so much pain. It's difficult to learn so much all at once that is so traumatic, right? To share and to empath with each other's trauma and pain. And it was so important for us to do so, because in that we also got to learn about bailouts and about petitions and about the overfunding of police, and the fact that we have an ability to protest, to email our local representatives, to sign petitions, to send money, to serve, to support, and to amplify and elevate. And this really, what this gave us was an opportunity to see that our world could be different. There is an opportunity to abolish racism. The evolution of humanity is an opportunity now, whereas before it was just a dream. Now it's a lucid dream. We're awake to it, and we know that we can actually be an active, powerful member in its creation. And this is beyond empowering. This is beyond expansive. And so for the last week or so, in the last 2 weeks as we've been approaching summer solstice, we've been integrating this. We've been integrating this level of expansion, this level of opportunity within ourselves, right? What is our role to do? And each of us has a unique and specific role. Not all of you are meant to protest. Not all of you are meant to donate. Not all of you are meant to, are meant to even speak to political officials, but you are here to do something. And if the only thing you do is change your own internal lens and speak privately to people in your world and have conversations that are uncomfortable and new, then that is perfect. I am not here to tell you how to be. Only your own heart, only your own intuition can tell you that. But there is this opportunity to expand for yourself and all of humanity. And it is very, very exciting. And it's actually something that we get to rejoice around and be joyful around. But it has taken a lot of integration. Like I posted in one of my last posts on Instagram that you can see here, is I took an accidental vacation because I needed that time to just be in nature, to be by myself, in order to integrate, so that I could know what is my role and how can I keep serving all of us and myself, right? In these ever shifting, ever changing times that will only have more shift, because we are still in eclipse season. The solstice and the new moon and a solar eclipse are coming on Saturday. So even more shifts, even more illumination is coming to light. I don't know what's going to happen, but I do know it is fundamentally changing all of our structures, all of the ways that we think about love, that we think about learning, that we think about connecting and community and global trade and global commerce, and all of it is shifting. A new world economy is being built. I am here to create a new earth economy that is one with the earth, one with people, and completely cyclical and completely nurturing and still abundant, right? Abundant with the creativity of Mother Earth and all people sharing all of their gifts and their creativity from their various multifaceted viewpoints. It is an exciting time. Do we agree? Give me a little heart, give me a little star in the comments below if you do. And if you'd like to come into ceremony and celebrate the summer solstice and set those powerful new moon intentions and come into understanding of what the astrology is of this next season and this next moon cycle, we're going into moon cycle 7, then please consider joining my moon subscription service, Moon Mastery, where you will get your own individual one-on-one 15-minute astro chart reading so you can better understand your cosmic blueprint, the universe that is you. And then you get to come into beautiful container and ceremony with other women every full moon and new moon, and each of your subscriptions pays for an entire moon cycle. So you get full moon, new moon, and you get my moon training. I'd absolutely love to see you there. We're also doing a cosmic solstice party beforehand. It's from 6 o'clock until 8:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time this Saturday. So if you don't have any plans this Saturday, you don't have any way that you're bringing in the solstice, please consider joining us. Send me a DM or a message if you have any questions. The link is in my Instagram bio or below this video, wherever you're watching this. I'm sending you all of my love, and I'd love to know your thoughts on this time and how has the 5th or the 6th moon cycle served you. Love, love, love. Satnam.